Welcome back to the Agents Confidential podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the emotion first sales script. We've got 5 questions to build instant trust. Yana, take it away.
Yeah, we're going to keep this one short and sweet, but these are some questions that tap into clients' values, fears, and desires. So ultimately, the emotional drivers behind their decision making. Once you've connected on this level, it's easier to guide them toward a confident, logical decision.
All right, I got the first one here.
Mm-hmm.
What's most important to you when it comes to your health coverage? Great question.
Mm-hmm.
This uncovers the values, peace of mind, cost savings, and flexibility amongst other items that they can be concerned about. You'll hear things like, I just want to make sure I keep my doctor, or I'm on a tight budget. It really opens up the client, nice open-ended questions to be asking them to find out what is truly most important to them. I'm sure there are going to be times when they don't have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pepper in and give them suggestions of things that are typically important to your other clients.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then the second one is, have you had a bad experience with insurance in the past?
I want to add slightly to this one
Mm-hmm.
and say, have you or anyone you know had a bad experience with insurance in the past?
Yeah.
Because they will hold on to grandma's story from 30 years ago.
Yep. But this one's going to help surface hidden fears and pain points and trust barriers. So it's just going to help you get a little bit more prepped. So these responses give you context to handle objections before they arise.
I think another good one in this section is, are there any carriers you are against using? Whether it's, again, from a bad experience or they've worked at a place or what have you, or they only want to work with a certain carriers. I think that can uncover that a little bit as well.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, when you ask, have you had a bad experience with insurance in the past? They could say, oh my God, I had the worst experience with this carrier. You know not to present a plan by them. Or they could be like, honestly, no, I've had great experience with insurance, love this carrier. It's going to help guide those conversations to really get into the hidden fears and pain points if they have them.
Exactly. All right. Our third question that you can use is, how do you want to feel about your insurance plan after we're done today? Thinking ahead, emotional or emotion focused. This can help build a vision and rapport. Clients might say they want to feel relieved or in control or just simply not confused anymore.
Mm-hmm. And then this next question to ask is, or that you can ask, is what would make you feel confident that you're making the right choice? So this is going to encourage clarity and signals your role as their guide and not necessarily a seller. It's a great transition into your plan explanation and logic-based validation. So once you have that emotional connection established, this is another good one to throw in there as a transition into the plan explanation.
Excellent. Our last one of these 5, and I maybe should have predicated, and you don't have to use all of these, but our last one for today's episode is, has anyone taken the time to walk you through all of this before? Which I think this leads into referrals and other things, but it really highlights your empathy and positions you as different from their past experiences. If they say no, you've already won their trust by showing them you care.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think a statement of, this is what I do for when they say no, this has been great, whatever, saying, this is what I do for my clients. If you'd like me to help any of your friends or family, have them contact me, maybe slide some business cards or ask them, hey, is it all right if I give you a couple cards? You can hand them out.
Yeah.
And really be that helper for them and their friends and family going forward.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So how to use these in sales conversations? You're just going to start a meeting with like 2 or 3 of these questions. Whatever feels right for you. Could even just start with one and see where the conversation goes. It doesn't have to be these specifically, but the point of getting to an emotional response first to start those meetings. You're also going to listen deeply and reflect back what you hear. And I think that's self-explanatory. And also use their own words later when explaining their plan. Something along the lines of, you said feeling confident matters most. Here's how this plan gives you that kind of thing.
I like that. Reminds me of Tony Robbins. He was saying, if somebody's a realtor and they say, I want a fantastic house,
Mm-hmm.
and they say, wow, this is a great house,
Yeah.
or like use their words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say, I've found a fantastic house for you, or
Right.
I want a plan that protects me against X.
Mm-hmm.
We found a plan that protects you against X.
Right.
And this is how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So rapid fire, so our listeners can jot these down. I'm just going to go through the questions really quick. What's most important to you when it comes to your health coverage? Have you or anyone you know had a bad experience with insurance in the past? How do you want to feel about your insurance plan after we're done today? What would make you feel confident that you're making the right choice? And has anyone taken the time to walk you through this before? I think these are great questions. We'd love to hear comments back from you and questions that you use with your clients so that we can share them on the podcast and help other agents improve.
Yeah.
Another episode of Agents Confidential. If you have not hit that subscribe button, please do so. And if you find value in this, please tell your friends.